Hey everyone, what is going on? MrWombat alive, and welcome back to the channel. In today's Payday 2 video, it's a full solo stealth playthrough on Death Sentence 1 Down, or as my game's calling it, Insanity, because I have mods, to play the new Lost in Transit heist, how to get through this whole thing in stealth. And I've got to be honest, this is one of the nicer and relatively easier stealth heists Payday 2's added in a while. I mean, the context for that is that I literally nearly beat this thing first go, and the only thing that's been letting me down was trying to get through the last section when I didn't have any pages spare because I was being reckless. It's genuinely a really, really simple stealth heist, at least I feel it. So we're going to talk you through how to do it, as per usual. So, getting in here, that guard hangs around in that building a little bit too often sometimes. You might find I had the first spawn that I did, he never left the building, so I just killed him. But you can always restart and just wait for him to actually leave the building. Looking around for the walkie-talkie, I'm trying to look for some locations here. There's a few spots downstairs, but it ends up being upstairs here, which annoys me a tiny bit, purely because with some of the downstairs spawns, I've literally got into the next area within 20 seconds. Which, you know, makes me feel like a proper speedster. But still beating the heist in 15 minutes after having to do this is pretty good. I think I did pretty well here. So you find the walkie-talkie to connect lock. And there you go. So he gets the main door to the train yard to be opened up. So those two barrels there are really good to hide behind if there isn't a guard walking towards them. So if you can get behind them while you wait for the door to open, that's massively helpful. Or you can just do it this way and run around like that. Going through this pattern here, once that civilian has moved away from opening the gates, is a pretty surefire way to get straight through. In this area here, I think in this playthrough, I kill all the guards in this area. It wasn't quite what I planned, but I had the pages spare, so it doesn't matter too much. And now we need to find a key code to get into the admin office that's upstairs. So there are several spots. One of them, really annoyingly, you'll see on here, is on the right, on that desk there, through the window, which I got spotted looking at one point. It's a very, very bad spawn for a number, gotta be honest with you. I don't really know why Overkill put a pad there. But thankfully it wasn't in there in my playthrough here. It's over here. So you can see the code is 0783. So we just go over. There are two entrances to the admin room. One you can see just coming up here, and then one's at the other end of the hallway down there by the door. Either one you can use the code on, or you can use it on both if you want. It doesn't really matter. But once you're in there, you can obviously open the other door from the inside and make life easier. Look for the computer with that login screen. I can't even get my words out. Very nicely done. Giving a nice little commentary here. But yeah, get that hack going. It's only 15 seconds. And then look for a blowtorch in one of those grey boxes, because you'll need it for later. Really handy to get while you wait for the computer to hack. So now just wait for that hack to finish, and then it'll tell us what brand of train car we're going to be getting the plates from. Right, so it's Hefty. So you either have Hefty, Avalon, or Omni Exports. Hefty are the red train cars, Omni Exports are the yellow train cars, and Avalon are the blue. That always applies. The colours always fit the brand names on here. So you can see I'm just going past a Hefty one on the left there. What it means is once we've got the motion sensor console dealt with, we're going to go into the red train cars to get our loot. But the other train cars have a ton of money bags in there. So you can get loads of extra loot in this heist if you want. Because I was doing so well getting through this, I didn't bother getting extra loot. So, once you've got that motion sensor panel activated, you need to go to find this keygen panel. And it can either be in this area or a building just behind me in terms of game perspective right now. It's kind of hidden in some different places sometimes. It's RNG based, obviously, as most things are in Payday 2. I was having a little look around to see if you get the guard marked. They can be right there against the blue container, or it's inside the blue container as it is in this playthrough. I don't know why I opened the container when I was doing this, because I'm pretty sure I opened the container here. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Anyway, you hack the electrical box, and what it does is it shows you a colour pattern as to what the key code is. So here you got 4, 2, 7, 3. So I just memorised that immediately, but that will loop permanently. I'm pretty sure permanently anyway. I've seen it loop about 4 or 5 times just continuously, so I'm guessing it's a permanent loop. So if you need to look at it a few times to figure out what the code is, feel free to do so. You have got the time to do that. You pop the code in, and bada bing, bada boom, you need to interact with it again then, and motion sensors are off, so you can get into the wagons. And this is the main objective, getting all the loot secured. So you now need to find the 3 Hefty wagons and get each of the printing plates out of there. Now, it is based on difficulty. As I've said before, when you do solo stealth, either go Overkill or below, or go Death Sentence 1 down. Because once you get to the Mayhem area, it's going to be the same amount of loot, same amount of guards, same amount of challenges, but it's going to get more and more rewarding if you go for DSOD. So just go for Death Sentence 1 down. But as you can see here, so when you get to a certain point on the roof of the train car, that's how you get into these, you'll get blowtorch prompts. So you need to blowtorch each of those areas. You can see I'm looking around for the Hefty trucks. Then you have an ARFID panel, and this is telling us red, and there are ARFID boxes right the way around the train car, one on every corner. And luckily enough, I found the right one here, before getting spotted. So you can see that in each of those, and that's regardless of whether it's the printing plates or whether it's the extra cash loot, there'll always be an ARFID box. You need to open the ARFID box, see what colour it is, and then run around the train car till you find the colour wire that you need to cut the wire, and as you can see in the distance there, the outline for the vault door is now showing. Now, my main problem with this heist, my biggest issue with it, is where you put body bags. In this heist more than any other, and this might just be me personally, I feel like it's not as easy to hide bodies. So I start putting them in vaults because I'm thinking, well, this is probably the only place that they're not going to get seen. I know there's a few dumpsters around that I've come across. It just feels like there isn't enough of them. And you can see in the pre-planning earlier, when I was talking over, you can always pause, go back and see which things I put down. It was just an instinctive habit from my first playthrough. And it was about 2 in the morning when I was doing this. I was trying very hard to get this done. So, like, there are definitely other places you could put dumpsters. But it feels a bit weird that making it a bit easy for yourself with body bags is now a pre-planning thing. I don't know. I'm not sure if I like that much. I know there's other heists like Bomb Dockyard where you can have dumpsters you can put loot in. But at least in Bomb Dockyard, there were a bit more places to hide bodies just instinctively. At least I felt so anyway. Either way, there are 3 printing plates in here, as I was saying earlier, about the amount of loot that spawns. I did a loud playthrough on this for my news video, which will be out now. Link will be on the top right corner of the screen, if I haven't already put it up there. But I did overkill for the loud just to get an idea of the heist, and there were only 2 printing plates per train car in there. So it is definitely difficulty dependent how many spawn. Anyway, that's the first car broken into, and earlier when I was on the roof looking around, I could see there were no other hefty cars, which meant both of them are on this side of the map. One here in the interior, and one is outside, which I will find in a minute. I was going to take a quick peek, and then this guard spotted me.
Then you get in your car and you just
I think all the guards I killed here were accidental ones, which I know is not the best example to set. Obviously, you know, I've got to put across them an amazing stealth player, because we all know that's the case. But it worked really well. It worked really well, because there were 2 hefty trucks in this area. Oh, that there. Those little mini brown kind of cover shield things, guards don't tend to go behind those. Some of them are better than others, though. The one I put the body bag behind there is a perfect spot to hide bodies, especially in this section of the map. So well worth putting some body bags there, I would say, personally. But yeah, so because there were 2 cars in this area, it made a bit more sense to reduce the guard spawns, but there are like 4 guards in this area anyway. There's the one I killed, the one in this area here as well, who goes right round the bottom floor. There's a guard up top who goes along all the walkways, and there's a guard on the outside who patrols the train cars just outside of this area. So there's 4 guards in this area. You could kill all 4, and then have a much easier job if you want, but then it means in the main train yard you can't get spotted by a single guard, which I already have been. So there's the other hefty train car out there, as you can see, just the top of. I figured we'd start by getting in here, then I could dump the body bag off. Although I could have just put it in behind the barrier, although I might still do that actually, I'm not sure. So now I want green for this one. So now we're looking for the green ARFID box. I think, is this going to be one of those second times where I just don't find it immediately? Yeah, here we go. So we've got red, we've got yellow, we want green. Is it this one? Yeah, there we go. So there's our green ARFID box. And as for guards, by the way, I do kind of get Bomb Dockyard vibes, where, at least in this section, obviously there are specific guards that have specific patterns, rather than them all just kind of free roaming around an area. I think it's less true in the main train yard, although the guard that I bumped into, he is very Bomb Dockyard in the sense that he just walks between the 2 trains. There are a few guards that do that. I wonder if Overkill may try and change this later on, because I do feel like the guards' patterns are very, very fixed in a lot of the senses. Obviously, I'm bumping into them a lot, but that's because I'm rushing around trying to get the gameplay. By the time that I was finishing this playthrough, I think it was about 2:30 in the morning, because I've had a very busy weekend and I haven't been able to make the most of the access until Monday night. So that was a fun thing for me. I should have mentioned that earlier, by the way. This is an early access build. I don't think there are any issues with the gameplay, but if you do spot anything, or if I spot anything as we go along here, by the way, this was in the early access build, but I think it ran perfectly, so shouldn't be a problem there. But yeah, so at this point, I was really trying to get the solo stealth. I really wanted to have the gameplay. And like I said, I just kept annoying myself by messing up the last section. You'll see it in a minute. And it's one of those things I should not have been messing up on. It was stupid. But I was messing up anyway, because we do love the way I play Payday 2. Reckless. Best way to play. So, that's the second train car looted. Now we need to get to the third train car, get the loot dropped off, and then it's all about trying to get out. And the escape does have a few steps, I'll be honest. There's a few different steps to it, but I quite like that, because as you can tell, just by getting the loot from the train, there's not really much else to do. And there we go. Now, look at that. He shot at me, and nobody heard it. I was genuinely stunned by that. You know, as I said, this is the best gameplay you've ever seen, right? Best gameplay. Don't even try and argue with it. We all know that it's absolutely stellar, top tier, superior. No one will ever do better. No one's going to see that body, so I just left it there. So the only guard that's left now is in between the 2 train cars outside. You'll no doubt see him in a minute. I was trying to go back onto the top because I'd slipped off. I need to get onto the roof of the red hefty train car. And as you'll see, they leave these little grey things to the left there that you're meant to use to jump to the train cars. Not instinctively obvious right from the start, but I clocked it relatively easily when I was playing it loud. Some of the way these things pop up is a bit weird, to be honest, but anyway, now we need to get the red one. There's our guard, so now I can't be spotted by him. He will just go up and down between these two train cars. Again, like I said, very bomb dockyard. Very, very, very bomb dockyard. Okay, so we're looking... I don't even know what colour I was looking for now, to be honest, because I was too busy talking, but I'm looking for the colour. I'm guessing it was blue then. And he's walking off, so let me get in here. Oh, it was red. Wow, wow, my colour perception is astonishingly good. There we go. And the vault door's opened. Boom. Now this door you can open because there won't be a guard on that side, or at least not one very close that will see you. And what I realised here is he's not going to see the bags if I leave them down there, because he's only patrolling this one area. So I thought, right, rather than dancing around him 3 times trying to loot each bag one by one, we'll just move all 3 under here and then get everything secured. And it made life much quicker and much easier. I used my initiative, guys. Are you proud of me? I hope so. I'm proud of me. That sounds so egotistical. Okay, so we got the last 3 printing plates, and as you might imagine, all it is now is a case of moving that loot to the van. Or train car, I should say, sorry. Which I really like that using a train as our escape here, even in stealth. Because I expected it to be the escape loud, you know, blasting out on the train. But I'm a little bit surprised they did that for stealth, because I imagined in stealth, because they don't want the army to know we're here, they would just go, right, get it in a van, let's get away, let's sneak off. But I'm really, really glad they didn't do that, because as you'll see in a minute, they account for that and they go, right, we need to make it sound like the train's just leaving as normal. It's all calm, it's all good, you know, there's no need to worry. That's good. Of course, you could argue it was easier for Overkill to do anyway, because it means the escape's the same, loud or stealth. That's true. But it's nice. I don't know. I feel it's nice that it isn't just throw it in the van and go away. Although that probably is the more logical option. Realistically speaking, I don't know why you'd steal a train. You know? Why you wouldn't just shift the bags to a van. You know, you could have a van drop off not far from here and just have the bags go in there. But the fact that we don't have it, I like. And here's our last printing plate bag. Bag. Oof. Can you tell that I'm doing this all in one shot? Makes it much easier to edit that way. I've got my footage, put this over the top, and boom. Still got the news video to make. At the point I'm recording this, I haven't even done the news video, because I've got to organise a few extra bits for that, so... The busy day of a YouTuber, you know? The busy day of a YouTuber. Ugh. The hard work we have to do, guys, honestly. You would never understand. You never understand. Okay, so, now we need to connect locks to the PA system. It's always the exact same point. There's always one guard in this building. Just got to watch outside in the train yard for when you connect to the PA system.
So, if you see that train on the move, don't throw a hissy fit. It's all good. Be cheeky.
I had to let you listen to that. It was certainly an intriguing impression of a Texas accent from Ian Russell there. I'm guessing he was doing it for comedy, because I know that man can do accents with his eyes closed. But that was... That's something, all right. Okay, so now he needs to just refuel it. He says you need to take care of that civilian. I left him the first time, and he just started walking away, and I was thinking he might report something to somebody, so I thought, right, no, I'll just kill him. But that dumpster I put his body in is the only dumpster I remember off the top of my head. I have seen, like, 1 or 2 others, but that's one spot I remember. I'm not sure if that's the one I put down in pre-planning, though, to be honest with you, so... You know. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of the objective here. You need to get into this building here and get a key card, and 1 civilian in the building has it. Now, the thing that kept catching me up was I was killing him either in front of the guard or in front of the cameras, without realising, because it's one of those weird cornery buildings. So now what you've got is about a minute's gameplay footage of me running around going, where am I going to put this body bag? And this is my point, because I just didn't know where the most reliable place to store the bodies was. And the fact that I have to end up choosing to go, right, I'm going to put this inside the vault, which is what I do in a minute. Why I go up here, I have no idea, because we literally can see body bag outlines on my screen. And I was thinking, oh, I wonder if I can put it along up here. I could have got easily a sub 15-minute playthrough here if I hadn't, like, kind of, whatever the word is, messed around up here. I don't know why I did this. Like, I could have easily just ended up killing myself, falling off there by accident. It was not a very smart move by me, I'll be honest with you. Can we all, like, you know, close our eyes and pretend that I did this in 15 minutes because this bit didn't happen? Thanks, guys. I appreciate your understanding. I appreciate you. I really do. Alright, so now we just got to go back and get the train moving. So we've got the keycard on us. We just need to go to the keycard panel. That guard's outside the room. I'm not sure if that is the guard that normally walks around the inside. I think it might be. He might go outside sometimes. But we rotate the turntable. Make our way out. And at this point here, I hadn't played this far. So I was thinking, alright, I hope there's not many more objectives now. But I was figuring, right, it's just going to rotate and I can escape, right? It's like, that'll be a nice end to the heist. No, you have to do a little bit more. But it's not a major objective. I thought we had to go in here, but him saying that made me realise, okay, it's something on the outside. Let's have a look and see what it is. And what it is is there is some breakages on the wire. Or there are some breakages on the wire. You can see one of them there. I just walked past. I'll realise it in a second. There it is, little sparks. You have to fix that. Interesting noise for like, taping a wire. I don't even know why we have the tape. Where do we pull that out of? I don't think we want to know the answer. But then I keep going around and think, right, maybe there's another one. And lo and behold, yes, there is. Fix that cable as well. And bada bing, bada boom, we're done. So just over 15 minutes, but that is the full playthrough of the Lost in Transit heist. As I said, I think it's a pretty easy stealth heist, and I really like it. It's nice and simple, doesn't feel overly complicated. It's just a good bit of fun. So there you go, everyone. That is the full playthrough. If you have enjoyed it, please do give a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it, and subscribe to the channel if you're new to stay up to date with all Payday 2 and Payday 3 content for all platforms. All right, people. If you haven't watched the news video, feel free to go check it out. But beyond that, I'll see you tonight, 7 PM UK time. That's BST, playing the heist live with Locke. All right, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all soon.